Thanks for clicking in. It's Monica. Welcome. So, I am doing my very first monthly favorites today. I have done favorite videos before, but I've never done like an official monthly favorites. So, here is my March favorites, and just quickly, my criteria for my favorites is first of all, have I been reaching for it a lot in the month of March? And second, if I lost it or broke it, would I go out and buy another one? And yes, I would on all these products. There's actually a few products that I took out because I thought to myself, I hesitated. I was like, I don't know, would I? So I took a few things out. So these are truly my March favorites. So let's get started, people. Okay, these are all going to be like beauty related kind of stuff. So first, I will start with Maybelline Great Lash Transparent Gel. And I know everyone and their mother has this, but it's perfect. It's inexpensive. I can buy it anywhere, and I use it every time I do my makeup. The way I use it, I don't use it to set my brows. The way I use it is to clean my brows. And what I mean by that is after I do my concealer and foundation and I powder, usually I have, like residue in my brows of foundation and usually a lot of powder. And that's when this comes in. So what I do is I just take it straight out, and I don't clean it off really. I just brush through my brows on this side, and then I flip it over, and with whatever gel's on the other side, I brush through my other brow, and then I'll get a tissue and wipe it off and put it back in. That's why it's so clear and clean, because I do usually clean it with a tissue before I put it back in. And so that's how I use it, and then I pat my eyebrows gently, because I do have my makeup on already, with a tissue to get off the excess, and then I go in and do my brows. So that's how I use it. Great Lash Clear or Transparent Gel. Next, speaking about brows, this is the brow pencil I use. It's by Maybelline. And it's the Brow Define and Fill Duo, and it's in deep brown. And it's a dual-ended pencil, and it is retractable. You just do that. And then the other side is actually powder, which I don't use. And I hope to start using that in the future, because it's really neat that it's got the built-in powder. But the reason I love this is because of the pencil. The pencil, it's nice and hard, so I can really press down hard on my eyebrows to darken them, and I don't have to worry about this giving way, of it breaking or it's kind of smushing down. And it just stays really nice and solid, and it's a really nice color because it's a cool color. So it's on the gray side rather than being like on the warm side, which it would be more like on the red-ish side. I love the color of it. This I did use today, although I used it in combination with some other things because my eyebrows need grooming. So I did use it, but it isn't a true representation of just this product, because usually I do use just this product after having cleaned it with my brow gel, which I also did today. So yeah, so that's definitely a winner. I would go out and buy it again if I broke it or ran out of it. So that's Maybelline Brow Define and Fill Duo in deep brown. Next, my lashes. This top coat. It's a Ulta Raincoat Waterproof Top Coat Mascara, and it's by Ulta, and this is the only top coat that I've ever tried, but it works beautifully. I use this after I have applied my waterproof mascara. I have very straight lashes, so to keep the curl, I have to use waterproof mascara. Now, in order for that mascara not to transfer to my eyelids, I need to put this clear top coat on the very tips of my lashes. Otherwise, by the end of the day, I will have at least 1 or 2 spots right here on my eyebrow, or on my eyelids, right under my eyebrows. But I find that when I use this, it keeps that from happening. Like right now, I would already have a little bit of something on my eyelids. But using this, I'm fine. I use whatever mascara I want to use because I have a lot of different kinds. And then once it's dried, I just go in with this, and then just on the tips, just brush through like I would, you know, any kind of mascara. But I just keep it on the tips, and I'm also careful not to over apply, because even though it's a clear mascara, it does have a bit like of a white-ish kind of a tint to it. So if there's been times where I've put a little bit too much and the tips of my eyelashes look a tiny bit on the white side. So I'm just careful not to overdo it. But this definitely does the trick. And if I lost it, I'd buy another one. Definitely. So this is by Ulta Raincoat Waterproof Top Coat. Love it. Next, let's stick with the eyelashes. So this is pretty new to me. I've been using it. I used it definitely all of March. It's fairly new. When I first got it, I was very disappointed with it. This is the Tarte eyelash curler, and I was very used to my previous eyelash curler that really curled my lashes. I mean, like a C, like curled and like touching my eyelid. This one doesn't do that. It more does this. Like it just kind of lifts them and like spreads them out. At first I didn't know if I liked that. But as I've been using it, and I alternated between this one and my old one, which is also one of my favorites, which I'll explain why. I found that when I would use this eyelash curler and then apply my mascara, whatever mascara that would be that day, I just loved how my lashes looked. They just looked a little bit longer, and they just were like more spread out, more fanned out, whereas my other eyelash curler that I will share with you kept them more curled and kind of like neat, not spread out. And I like the effect that gives. And I don't know, I think they look nice. What do you think? I like that it's spring loaded. I think that helps in not over curling them, because you have, like, as soon as you let it go even a little bit, it just pops right up, which is really neat. I've never had one that was spring loaded. One of the reasons I wanted to get a new eyelash curler wasn't at all really because of the curl, because I didn't like the curl of the other one. I was fine with the curl with the other one. The problem I was having with the other one was that it would leave out a few of the lashes on the very corners of the outer corners of my eye, which drove me crazy. Because, you know, I mean, you want every single lash, you want to show up and do its job. And the other eyelash curler just wasn't really doing it. It would leave out the lashes like all the time on the corners. This one is a lot more consistent. It'll leave out a lash or two every once in a while, but it works a lot better. And I think it's because the cage is a little bit bigger, or maybe it's just shaped differently. But I'll go ahead and show you my old eyelash curler, which is this one. So if you look at the cage, I don't know if it's just my imagination or if it really is bigger, but it's definitely shaped a tiny bit different, I think. The opening is definitely a tiny bit more open, but it works. It works really nice, and it's really different. Now, the difference between these two is that I use this when I'm going to wear mascara, and I use this when I am not going to wear mascara, or when I'm not wearing makeup, but I want my lashes curled and I want them to stay all day. So this is also a favorite of mine for when I don't wear mascara. I bought this one at Sally's many years ago. As you can see, it's not spring loaded. It just has the little loops that you put your fingers through. And since it curls my lashes so much, like a C, like I said, and it works really well when I don't have mascara on, because since it kind of over curls them, it really helps to keep that curl all day. I don't care if they're over curled or if they're rubbing on my eyelid, because I don't have any mascara on. I'm not concerned about it transferring, although, like I said, I do have a solution for that. Not a problem. But I think it looks a lot more cute when they curl a lot more and I don't have anything on them, because it makes them show up more, you know? And when I'm not wearing mascara, I'm not concerned too much about the lashes staying out. or not getting curled, the ones in the corner. I'm not too concerned about that. When I am wearing mascara, that drives me crazy. I've tried to use this one on days that I'm not wearing mascara, so it can totally replace this one, and it's not quite the same. It's not quite the same because it doesn't hold the curl as long. I guess I could do that, couldn't I? That looks really creepy. Okay, and so next is this brush, the Sigma Tapered Kabuki F86. Love this brush. I use it specifically for setting my under eye. What I do is I will dump it in the cap that it comes in, the jar that it comes in, and then I just pick up some product and I dab out my under eye to get the creases out with a sponge that I'm going to show you, and then I go in and set it. And I love this because, first of all, it's very dense, so it picks up a really nice amount of product, and it works really well if I want to bake, because I can pick up a lot of product and just really place it on there and leave it there. Or I can just, dab and pick up just a little bit, not so much. But I love the fact that it's pointy because it really helps to get right up to the lash line and into the inner corner of the eye. And I also like to use it to carry the powder to the sides of my nose, because as you can see, I have like kind of little crevices on either side of my nose. So I like to powder that nicely and get that really set. This is the Sigma Tapered Kabuki F86. Over the years, I've used it for different things. I used to use it to apply my under eye concealer, but I now have a new tool for that, and that is the Real Techniques sponge. And this is also another one of my favorites. This one, that's what I use it for. I use it to blend my under eye concealer, and then I usually will put concealer around my nose, around my mouth, and some in the middle of my forehead. So I use it to do all of that, and I do use it damp. Next time I buy one of these, I'm going to buy the 2-pack. I think it'd be really nice to have a backup that's clean. Because I will often want to use this when it hasn't been cleaned. Sometimes I want to use different products and I don't want to use the same sponge to dip into different products. I've washed this one so many times, and I mean, on camera I think it looks fairly clean, but it is dirty. I have used it. I used it today. I mostly just use this tip and the side of it, use the longer side, and then the flat side, I don't really find that I use it very much. I haven't found a purpose for it, but definitely if I lost it, I would go out and buy another one for sure. And like I said, next time I get one, I'm going to get the 2-pack. So, Real Techniques sponge. I forget the name of it, but Real Techniques sponge. Next is this guy here. So this is my EcoTools Domed Bronzer. I use this to apply and blend my foundation. As you can see, it's really nice and clean. I did not clean it. I just used it today to apply my foundation I have on today. It does not hold on to any product. It is so nice. I actually bought it initially because I liked how white it was, because I do have a big head. I like to have something that covers a lot of surface area. So and this does, that's why I got it, but it was a really pleasant surprise to see that it doesn't hold on to any product. Usually what I do is I will take my foundation and dot it around my face, and then I'll go in and blend it out with this. I've tried using the Real Techniques sponge to do my foundation, but I prefer this brush. I don't know, this one just doesn't, I don't like quite how my foundation looks as much when I use the sponge, so I prefer to use this. This just gives it a better application, looks a lot nicer in my opinion. It's a big brush, but it's not heavy. It's really nice and light, and it works perfectly. So EcoTools Domed Bronzer, beautiful. Next is my foundation that I'm wearing today, and I keep going back to it. This is the Revlon Nearly Naked Makeup. And this one is in 110 Ivory, and it has an SPF of 20, and that's just a bonus for me because I don't really care whether it has an SPF or not, because I wear SPF under my makeup all the time anyway. but hey, I'll take a double SPF anytime. So this one is my favorite. It doesn't have a pump. It's just, you know, I just usually just dip it into my finger, or I also have a foundation, like a paddle brush that I sometimes will pour some on and then just kind of messily smear it on, and then I will blend it in with my Eco Tools brush. But this, I've been trying other foundations, one other foundation and a couple of BB creams, but I always go back to this. This I would say is light to medium coverage. I think it's buildable. You might be able to build it up to full coverage. I'm not sure. I don't think I've tried to do that before. I'm not big on full coverage. I'm more of kind of the natural-ish kind of a look. And I just find that this looks a lot more like um, my skin, but better. So I just keep going back to this one. Um, and honestly, this is my foundation for a long time. I'm not going to try anymore because I think it's pointless. So I'm trying to get into the mindset now of if it's not broke, don't fix it, girl. Yes, because it's just, I think it's just a waste of time and a waste of money. So I just am, that's where I'm at. So this is definitely my favorite foundation. I always get it from CVS. I don't know if you can get it anywhere else, but every time I've purchased it, I've purchased it from CVS. This is for sure my second, probably my third bottle of it. And I don't know their color range very well. I don't remember. I just know that this is the lightest one, and that's the one that works for me. But I don't know how dark they go or how many shades they have in between. So that I'm not sure, but I do love it. I do love it. If they have it in your shade, I think it's definitely worth trying. So definitely a good foundation. Revlon Nearly Naked. Next, this I've been loving. I got it from Sephora Color Switch, and it's by Veramona, and it is a color switch sponge. This is like a very kind of porous sponge looking thing. I usually just keep it stored like this. I don't even close it because I feel like I want it to get air. I don't want it to be like closed, you know? Anyway, so this is how I usually store it. And what I do is I just usually use it mostly for my eye brushes. Basically what this is for you to switch colors on your brushes. For example, if I am using an eyeshadow brush and I am using black, let's say, and I'm using black and I want to go to white for whatever reason, hypothetically speaking, I can take that brush, go on to here and just swirl it and keep swirling it and do that and do that, and it cleans it completely. And then I can take that brush and go into the white, and it will not mix the two colors. It will be like a freshly cleaned brush. And you can keep doing that as much as you want. And so you can have just a very small brush collection and feel like you have even more because you have this, and it's very quick and easy. And I just always have it handy when I'm doing especially when I'm doing my eye makeup. Sometimes I've used it to clean off my blush brushes because I want to use different colors, and there's if I'm using the same blush brush, there'll be a buildup of colors that I've used in the past, and so I will just give it a good clean, and then I will choose my blush and apply it. But this is wonderful. I think it's just essential, and once it gets dirty, no worries. You just flip it over and you can use the other side. So that's what it looks like when it's freshly cleaned. To wash it, all you have to do is just take it out, and I like to just use hand soap, run it under water, and I just squeeze it, and just keep doing that until it's like the water runs nice and clear and it's not all soapy looking. Rinse it, and then on my hand towel, I just wring it out, and then I just let it sit somewhere where the air can hit it, and it dries very quickly. And then I just pop it right back in, and it's nice, fresh, and clean. I think I've washed this at least, I don't know, a dozen times, and it's still like new. So this will last a very long time. So yeah, so that's the dirty side, and this is what it looks like clean. So, yep, I love this. Absolutely love it. And that I got from Sephora, and again, it's called the Color Switch by Vera Mona. Next is this tool here. I love this thing. If you are still using a pumice stone in the shower, you are behind in the times. You need one of these. This is by Therapeutics. I got this from Ulta in store. And I had used this a couple times and then realized that it had a little extra little one here to get, I guess, more detailed areas, right? So, but what this does what a pumice stone does. I think you can also use it dry, although I'm not sure, so if you do try this out, make sure to read the instructions. But I use it in the shower. I use it wet. It is so much more satisfying to use than a pumice stone, because on a pumice stone, I can't really see anything coming off. I don't feel like a pumice stone ever really does a really great job at taking off all the dead skin on the heels of my feet or the bottom of my feet. But this does. I mean, this thing is so, what I like to call grabby. When it was in the packaging in the store, it was open right in here. So I just ran my finger across it and I just thought, wow, that feels so weird. And it just feels like sharp. It feels sharp, but I mean, I can run my finger across it, of course, and it's not going to cut me, but it does. It feels like that, like a very grabby. I can't describe it any other way. So what I usually do is I use this side, which has got little bumps on it, as you can see. And I just use this on my heels and just rub, rub, rub in a circular motion. And then you can see, when you look at it, you can see like residue on it of all the dead skin. And then you just rinse it off, and then the other side is flat to just kind of smooth the area, right? If I lost it or broke it, I would go out and buy another one. And that's Earth Therapeutics. Got that from Ulta. I don't keep it in the shower. I just keep it right out of the shower. But I don't keep any of my stuff in the shower just because it gets gooky and gross. So I just make sure to rinse it really well, and then I just let it air dry right outside my shower. I have a basket where I keep all my products. So that's a winner. Smooth feet. Okay, so that's that. And my last product is these. These are life-changing. I will tell you right now, they're life-changing. And I know it sounds dramatic, but they are. This is if I had to guess, that I would guess this was my 5th or 6th pair. And these are to exfoliate in the shower. I use these to scrub my body in the shower. They're by EcoTools, and these are really fantastic quality. I've bought the other ones at Target that are the less expensive, kind of cheaper version. Those are the ones I used to buy, and they come like in bright colors, like in pink, like a bright pink, a bright blue, bright turquoise. And I used those for quite a while, but last time I needed them, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna try investing in a better quality pair. And boy, these are so much better. They're thicker. They just feel like they do the job better. And they're definitely a winner. And I use this in place of a loofah. I use this in place of a washcloth. And these are life-changing because they exfoliate your skin so nicely. They take off all the dead skin. You shower so much faster because it's just like you're just using your hand. It's really awesome. And you don't have to mess with a cloth or a loofah. You're using both of your hands at the same time instead of one loofah or one washcloth, which really makes a big difference because you are washing twice as fast. And it's easy. It's so easy. It's life-changing, like I said. So these I use all of the time, and I love to use them. They're my favorites. They always have been. They most likely always will. So, and specifically the EcoTools are the ones I recommend. So that is a winner for sure. Favorites, will buy again. That is all. So that's it. That's all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Best wishes. Till next time.